About a year ago, this was released. Doom, completely AI generated. And now where we are is here. A year later. And gaming is the least interesting thing about this technology. Now, as a game developer, I build AI solutions for companies. I've worked on AAA games. I understand how revolutionary this technology is. And it scares a lot of people because gaming has been 3D assets, all these skills we learned and we had to master. And now it feels, are they even relevant? Obviously, there's a whole bunch of different ideas on how we combine 3D with these models, and that's where things are headed. But I will say, being able to go into a completely generated game just from an image and a prompt is actually, it's the future. And I say that not necessarily sad, but I say it as it's just how things are going to work. There's still going to be traditional 3D games, just like there's still 2D animated movies. I think that we're all going to have to adapt to this new world. And this technology is completely taking over. Because going from that to where we are today, in a year, that kind of demonstrates exponential growth. You can see that the quality is going up at such a dramatic speed. I made a video a while back when Sora came out, talking about this possibility of being able to go into generated video and actually interact with things. Because there was some research showing that you could move objects by open source projects where you could select them and move them and they would move the image. And I was like, okay, that's one strategy on how you could actually make this immersive game. And now it's almost a matter of just how much compute can we throw at this? And it seems like the more compute we throw at it, the more of the issues we solve. And it's fascinating because if you think about it, we are almost living in a simulation, at least according to a lot of smart people. And I tend to agree with that because if you think about it, this reality underneath it, it's like atoms and there's empty space really. And it's almost very similar to how a computer might generate a world. It would be like the most advanced computer that we couldn't even comprehend. And it's able to basically fractalize geometry. And I think we really have something deep with this technology. And it touches on how reality works. And I think what we really are excited to see is not actually games, but simulation of worlds, simulation of physics, simulation of training robots, training full self-driving, just basically if you're able to generate data that looks real like a video, the possibilities are endless. People would train inside these worlds. You want to become a top chef, you go into these worlds and you simulate being a chef, you simulate cooking, you simulate different jobs, and it's already happening with VR, but this would take it to such another level. You would be able to go into any simulation of almost anything. And that would rapidly expand humanity's potential and productivity. If you've ever learned something in VR, they have this DJ game where someone's in the DJ world showing you. It's so much easier to learn when someone's showing you how to do something than it is when you're just learning from textbook. And that's the other thing that I think is going to completely change is education. Education will be immersive. We will learn the best way for each individual kid to learn, and they'll each go into their own journey of how they learn math, how they learn all these things, and it'll all be customized. I think this is one of the most exciting things about this technology. There aren't very many people talking about it, and it's, I think, something that is bound to happen, and I want to be a part of that. It's in the infancy stages. It's not yet ready for prime time. Look how fast it's developing. Things are going, ChatGPT was released, and it's been now in our lives for so long. The same with this kind of technology for AI immersive experiences. I think it's going to be as big as ChatGPT. And honestly, all the companies right now are racing to do it. You have like Meta, you have Nvidia, Elon Musk's company, the XAI, you have Runway, you have like all these companies. They're all trying to build this because I think they understand the huge potential in being able to simulate completely customizable environments. For training, for anything, it's going to revolutionize how we do things. And yeah, if you thought you were coming for a gaming video, I hope you still enjoyed it. Subscribe if you actually like this kind of stuff and you want to think about future technologies and how we grow as a society and how we raise our children with technology and all this kind of stuff. Subscribe so I can know that this kind of stuff is what you want to hear.